What's up? Welcome to what that thing just said. Another one. I'm back. I know you all missed it. You love this. This is your favorite thing ever. I know. That's why I'm back for another round of Record Roulette. And for those of you who are new to this, this is a series of episodes where I utilize the random item feature on Discogs to randomize my vinyl collection, and whatever items it decides to pull up, I grab them and I talk about them for a little bit. And everybody has a wonderful time, right? So let's just get right in to this week's episode of Okay, so as usual, I am recording the screen of my laptop at the same time while I'm doing this video so you guys can see the selection as it happens. So let's go ahead and just jump right into this shit. Here we go, everybody. Random item. Let me up. I've had enough. The 7th, I think, album from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers from 1987. This is a 1987 pressing of this album. This is kind of an overlooked Tom Petty album. I don't know if I would put this as low as other people do. It seems like this is kind of one of those end of the list kind of Tom Petty albums. And I guess when you compare it to stuff like Hard Promises and Damn the Torpedoes, and even what he did after, when he did some solo shit, you know, Full Moon Fever and whatnot, I guess, yeah, this doesn't stand up quite as much, but if you're into Tom Petty, this shit still sounds fucking great. But yeah, this was the album, the last Heartbreakers album before he decided to do a solo album, which I think also included members of the Heartbreakers anyway, but he still. And then the Heartbreakers got back together. There's a really long documentary out there. Go watch it. It's really good. This album is, it's more sort of straightforward rockin' kind of stuff. You can't see, there's lyrics there. There's this great sort of like the images of like, here you can see a better version on this side, where like you're at a pool and there's like a airplane that crashed into a pool. You know, I don't know why, but it's there. And then this is on. You remember this? You remember this MCA Records logo? If so, I think if you collected records back in the 80s, you just remember seeing this rainbow logo a lot. It was like their default MCA Records label. This is, to me, a very fun album. The song Jammin' Me was the single, which is a fun song. I guess, yeah, comparatively speaking, it's not as good. But this has like some really classic fucking songs on it too. There's a kind of a slower, kind of somber kind of track on here called It'll All Work Out. And I've always really liked that one as well. But it's just like, it's Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Like, do you love Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers? The answer is either no, there's something wrong with me, or yes, I'm awesome. And if you're awesome, then yes, you will also enjoy Let Me Up, parentheses, I've had enough. That was a good start. Let's see where we go from here. Random item. Mandator, Perfect Progeny. Also, amazing. That is, I've always, this has always been one of those covers that I'm like, is this really bad or absolute genius? I don't really know. This is a thrash metal band from Holland, and they only had 2 albums. I believe this was their last one, which came out in 1989. And it's really good. I mean, are you into thrash? Yeah. This is more, I guess it's a little bit technical, and then vocally speaking, it's a little more in the shouted vocals kind of area. There's not a lot of singing. I mean, you know what I'm saying. I'm busy. Call me later. Jesus Christ. Bill collectors, am I right? But where was I? Yeah, this album is a lot of fun if you're into thrash. And here's the printed inner sleeve with the lyrics, and the other side has some other albums that were released on this label. What's the label called? It is called Disaster Records. That's right. So yeah, I don't know a whole lot about Disaster Records, but yeah, this is a cool late 80s thrash album, and you know, the dudes in the microwave on the back. I mean, I love it. I love it. But yeah, Mandator, Perfect Progeny. It's a really great album. Go check it out. I think you can listen to it on YouTube. I don't know if it's on streaming services. It should be, because it's fucking great. Like I'm just a big fan of that late 80s and early 90s thrash metal sound. And this is a really great example of that. And it's a lot of fun. So yeah, Mandator. All right, we've had some thrash, we've had some classic rock and roll. Let's see what comes up next. Here we go. Random item. Once again, we get one of my wife's albums. Jack White Acoustic Recordings 1998 through 2016. I don't know a lot about this album. Apparently, it's just acoustic recordings with Jack White. I like Jack White. I like a lot of Jack White stuff. So I'm assuming that this is the same level of quality that we've all come to know and love from Mr. White. But this is a 19, what the fuck am I thinking? 2016 release, a 2016 version of it. There's the dude just, lounging on the sofa. Let's see, are these records anything special? Let's find out. Nope, they are just... Are they? I can't tell. It looks weird. No, it's just black. I pulled it out and I'm all like, is it some sort of weird, very deep blue or purple? But I don't think so. It is just black. On his Third Man Records, which is, if you don't know, his own record label. And he puts out a whole lot of shit. Not just his shit, but other artists as well. So I don't have a lot to say about this, but it's, there's quite a bit of Jack White / White Stripes in my collection, so he was bound to come up at some point. So there you go, Jack White. All right, guys, 2 records remaining. Let's see what happens. Random item. All right, another pretty unknown thrash metal album, Hades, If at First You Don't Succeed, which is their second album. They actually did a bunch of albums. They're a band from New Jersey. Their first one, I think, came out in like 87 or something like that. And this one, I believe, was 89. 88 is the year of this album and the year of this pressing. And I did this when I said thrash metal because, yeah, there's a lot of thrashiness on it, but it's also got a little bit of a progressive quality to it, a little bit of a power metal, I guess you would say, a little bit, or classic metal kind of thing. It's definitely a fun listen, and amazing musicians all around on this album. Once again, another one of those, it's like an interesting album cover with just the dude with the cups, like doing the, whatever you call that gambling thing with the cups, what the fuck, I don't know, whatever. And then on the back, it's our earth under the fucking cup. You understand? I love it. Look at these dudes. Some dapper looking individuals right there. This is on, I think it's on Torrid. Yeah, it's on Torrid Records, which I have a few things on Torrid. Gothic Slam comes to mind. There's several others, I'm sure. But it's pretty basic. And it has, like, the inner sleeve is like this. I don't even know if this is what originally came with it, but it's, you see them on some older releases from that time period. And there is a printed insert, the picture of the dudes and thank yous and whatnots and lyrics and stuff. So that's, that's pretty great. But yeah, I have the first 3 Hades albums, and they're all 3 actually kind of a little bit different. The very first one, you could probably fit it much more in the power metal or traditional metal side of things. This one adds a little more thrash and progression. Then the third album, they get more groove, which I guess that's the story of a lot of thrash metal bands, in my opinion, the best ones. But yeah, this particular album right here is arguably their best, I guess. It's a killer album, Hades, If at First You Don't Succeed. All right, last record of this episode. Let's do it. Random item. I love that we've gotten a few lesser known things on this episode. This is at this point, the one and only album from Low Dose. They're a band from Philadelphia. One of the members was previously in a band called Fight Amp, which were kind of like a heavy, you'd probably throw them in the sludge camp a little bit, but great, heavy, in-your-face kind of shit. This is not quite that. Take some of that and then you add a female voice on top of it and adding a little bit of an alternative 90s indie noise, grungy kind of thing. The interesting thing is this, way early on in the beginning of me doing the Old Head YouTube channel, I actually reviewed this album. This is from 2019, obviously a 2019 pressing on Knife Hits Records, which I believe Knife Hits is a label run by the guitarist in this band, or one of the guitarists, because the singer also plays guitar. But they ended up switching some members and then came out with something under the name Rid of Me, which I didn't like quite as much as this, so I don't know if that's the main thing now, and this is the only Low Dose album we're ever gonna get. But if that's true, then that's kind of sad, because this album is fucking great. Look, here you got an insert with the lyrics, and nothing on that side. And then I believe this is a cool, oh yeah, this is one of those Coke bottle colors on the vinyl, and I really dig it. So yeah, low Dose. I would seek out this album if you like exactly those things I said. Some 90s indie, noisy, grungy, alternative-y kind of stuff. It's great. And I also love, like, the artwork really looks like late 90s kind of Discord or something kind of shit. And the nice touch of the stereo 360 sound thing in the corner. I like that kind of shit. You know, as much as I love the big sort of Ed Repka thrash metal album covers, I also love things like this that almost kind of feel like a throwback to a different time, and it's cool. So yeah, Low Dose, last record of this episode of... As usual, I've had a blast. I hope you did too. We've barely scratched the surface. We've made barely a dent in my vinyl collection, so many more of these videos are yet to come. But thank you for watching this one, and I will see you all again very soon.